Hi, in this video, we are going to see how to change the wire of your brush cutter. This is a tutorial adapted for beginners. I advise you to stay until the end of the video if you want to know all the techniques to change the wire yourself. First, I will show you some brush cutter heads, and depending on what you have, I will quickly explain how to change the wire. The first one is this brush cutter head. I won't go too much into detail because personally I never use it, and it's not very common. We will also find this brush cutter head with 2 wires that will make 4 wires at the output, and we will also find this brush cutter head where we will simply put 2 wires. The system here is that by hitting the ground with your brush cutter or your trimmer, the wire will come out automatically. That will avoid having to reload the wire all the time, and it will allow you to have the wire adjusted to the right length. As for the wire, there are all types, with a more or less large diameter. For example, 3.5, 3.3 for this one, 3 millimeters, and at most 4 millimeters. I use 3.5. It's the maximum, because after that it doesn't fit in my brush cutter head. If you have a trimmer, I think it will be 2 millimeters. We won't go beyond that. We'll start with the first system. If you have this system, you just have to put the 2 wires back and screw again. But I don't think you have this system because it's relatively simple. We will also find this system with 4 wire outlets. Same thing, I won't go too much into detail. You will have to unscrew at this point. The system that I think will interest you is this one. To begin, I'm going to attach my brush cutter head directly onto the brush cutter. Then we'll look at the middle part to be able to change the wire. Here's how it is made. We find on it 2 parts for the 2 wire outlets. You can see, either in the front or in the back, depending on the head, that there are always arrows showing in which direction you have to turn the wire. Inside, you can see small holes that allow the wire to stay in place. That's why you shouldn't have a wire that's too thick. Personally, I have 3.5 millimeters, and it fits just barely, not thicker than that. I take the wire spool, and I made myself a small mark to know how much wire to put in each compartment. Each time, I measure by pulling the wire. Personally, I measure 6 times. That gives me the right length. Then I take both ends so I can cut and have 2 wires of the same length to avoid having one wire longer than the other. That's where it becomes a bit more technical. We're going to put our wire under the upper part of the head, like I do. It will be more practical afterward. Once you've inserted it into the small hole, you just have to follow the arrows. There, you can see that I've put enough. No need to put more. Once you've finished winding it, you can clip it on the side, because there are small holders specially made for that. Now we'll do the bottom part, following the arrows. Then I hold the wire to prevent it from coming out before putting it back, and I insert the bottom part of the wire that I'm holding. That frees me to hold the other one, quite simply. It's very easy. I put the protective cap back on, then I press to make a bit of wire come out, like this. Don't get tricked by the width of your wire. Make sure it's compatible with your trimmer or your brush cutter. As for the wire, you can choose round or square wire. Personally, I use round wire. I don't really see a big difference between the two. Friends, if this video was useful to you, please let me know by giving a thumbs up. Also, comment on the video. I will reply to the first 100 comments. It's always a great pleasure for me to interact with you. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to discover new tutorials like this one. I translated this video from my French video. I hope it didn't bother you too much. See you next time. Ciao.